Hello YouTube, and welcome to the 5th day of Phylo. Today we're going to be talking about one of my favorite Star Wars games from the late 90s, and that is Star Wars Episode 1 Racer. But besides just the game itself, I wanted to talk about what me and my friends considered pod racing on our own besides just the movie or the video game. I was 10 years old when Star Wars Episode 1 The Phantom Menace came out, and despite what people might think of it now, I really enjoyed it as a 10-year-old, and I know there are things that don't hold up with that film. I get it, it's whatever, cringy at points. It still has one of my favorite lightsaber fights in all the movies, and I still think the pod racing scene in that, even though it doesn't really mean a lot, I guess, in the Star Wars universe, it's still pretty epic. So when Star Wars Episode 1 Racer came out for the N64, I knew I had to get it. This was my favorite racing game on the N64. I actually played this game a lot more than even Mario Kart 64, which I did play, but this game was Star Wars with racing, and it showed you going 500-600 miles per hour. I mean, maybe not really, but that's what it said at least. My neighborhood friends would come over to my house, we'd play this game for hours. We'd always have a great time whenever Steven and Ricky and Paul would come over. Yeah, I would always do pretty well. I know Steven and Ricky, who are brothers, they had N64, but I don't think they had this game. And Paul, he had a PlayStation, and the PlayStation version of this game was canceled. Sorry. So I was the only one that had the game. One of the funniest times I remember from playing this game was when Ricky was clearly beating everybody, and near the end of the race, he announced to the world, "I have an itch on my head." And so he like sets the controller down for a second and like itches his head and crashes, and everyone beats him. And I thought, Ricky, like, couldn't you just like finish the race before you had crashed like that? And we just made fun of him forever after that. And I haven't talked to him in almost 20 years. As much fun as we had with the video game, we decided to take pod racing to more physical activities. One of the games that we came up with the summer of 1999 was to turn swinging on our swings on the playground into pod racing, and the first one to go a completely vertical wins. And we would kick each other, of course, and try to knock each other off of the swings and stuff, and I think if you lost, you had to jump off the swing. That was the game we came up with. It was fun for a while, but then we realized, it's kind of easy and quick. Why don't we actually like ride our bikes around the block and throw sticks and stones at each other and try to knock each other off each other's bikes? So that's what we did after that. We would take sticks and try to throw them, just like Sebulba, of course. We would throw sticks at each other's bike wheels and hopefully try to get it jammed in there so the bike stopped and they crashed. I don't remember anyone getting too hurt from this, and it's pretty stupid actually looking back, but it was a lot of fun, and yeah. In this game, I was always Gasgano, which took me a long time to realize how uncreative that name is, but he was a cool character. Even later, I did end up getting the Star Wars pod racing Lego sets. So it had Sebulba, Anakin, and Gasgano, and for a long time I had those together, and they're in a bin somewhere at my parents' house, but yeah, I think maybe I'll find them someday and try to put them back together. But that's a memory of my favorite part of Star Wars Episode 1, Star Wars Episode 1 Racer. Pod racing was just a cool thing, and, you know, we never saw it again after Episode 1. I was kind of hoping that maybe someday they'll do a spin-off. Maybe Rian Johnson's trilogy is all about Gasgano. Who knows? We'll see. Let me know in the comment section below who your favorite pod racer was. And don't forget to subscribe if you enjoy these videos. Anyways, I'll be back in a few days with another day of Phylo, and we'll see you then.